Hello, beautiful beings, and Happy New Year. Welcome to my first energy update of the year 2022. We've made it, and 2022 is gonna start right with a new moon tomorrow in Capricorn. Yeah, and I just wanted to make a little summary of the energies right now and just a little sharing my downloads with you all, and again, maybe they can support you along the way. So if you have followed my most recent reports, we are right now in Capricorn season with the sun sitting in Capricorn, and that in itself is a quite earthy quality, which has a lot to do with manifestation and getting things done, getting real, and also returning to what is most essential to us, because Capricorn has a lot to do with clarity, with what remains when everything that is not essential falls away. So we are in midst of a process of letting go of what is not essential to us, of stripping that down and really focusing. Capricorn is pure focus, focusing on what is essential for us and what we want to build, because it is also the builder, the one that achieves, the one that builds something that is sustainable, that's supposed to last. And its polarity is Cancer, which is a water sign, a water quality, where we have like the very dedicated, focused, strong-willed, responsible, and sometimes strict and a little hard Capricorn. And on the other side, we have the soft, we have the emotional waters of Cancer, the inner child, the vulnerable, our inner world, our inner emotions, and everything that it's also a quite unpredictable force, and Capricorn loves predictable, because if it's predictable, then you can plan, and then you can achieve, and then you can set goals, and then it's like very linear. But Capricorn is cyclical. Cancer is cyclical. It's lunar. It's the feminine principle, and can't really plan with that, right? So this also mirrors this whole crisis around integrating the feminine cycle into our work, basically, because the society that has been built does not even take into account that half of the polarity is cyclical, and actually all beings are cyclical. It's just very, very much highlighted in the female-bodied beings. So this is a time where we check in with ourselves around the topics of hard work and what we want to build, but also how we can implement the female wisdom of the cycle of the ebb and the flow, of the power of giving and taking and receiving, and staying connected to our water, staying connected to our softness, staying connected to Mother Earth, and listening to her and serving her in whatever we want to build and accomplish. Yes, and with this new moon tomorrow, we're going to start the new year with a new moon and a new cycle, which in itself is, of course, always powerful when these fall together time-wise. And this new moon is going to sit in Capricorn. And there are a couple of aspects that I want to talk about, because new moon in Capricorn always brings in like beautiful energy of what is it that you want to manifest in the new year, in the new cycle, in the next 2 weeks until the full moon in Cancer appears, or in general within the next 6 months until the full moon in Capricorn is going to illuminate. Yeah, so it is a time of reflection, of setting intentions, setting goals, really getting clear on our visions and writing them down. And at the same time, with those aspects that are playing out with the Capricorn New Moon, it's gonna be beautifully trined by Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is the rebel, the revolutionary, the one that is bringing change. And right now we are in midst of a transit where Saturn and Uranus are, it can feel a bit like a battle within all of us, because Saturn is about tradition, it's about what has been built. It's also, I've been talking a lot about this in my last report. Well, basically, it's about what our ancestors have built, and a lot of these systems are crumbling, and that is really, really hard for Saturn Capricorn energy, because you put all your energy into building something and then it's just going to start to crumble, and you identify a lot with where you put your focus and your work in. And that is also like what we're feeling right now, is also like the fear of our ancestors coming through. That's what gives them stability, what gives them like a certain sense of security is now crumbling. And Saturn is representing that process. And Uranus comes in with the system is not working anymore. We need to build new ways. We need to be innovative. We need to break out of whatever is not working anymore for us. So it's also quite revolutionary, rebel kind of energy, where you just like tap into your third eye wisdom of seeing what's to come, and knowing, like an inner knowing, that it needs new perspectives and new ways, a new earth paradigm. So, and this inner conflict that is feelable on earth so much in each and every one of us, this is still very highlighted also in this new moon. So you might really feel like there are these two sides inside of you, the one that is like really still identifying a lot with what you know and what you build your life around, and what your parents and your grandparents have like the reality that we were living in up until now. And it can be quite scary to take a step into a completely unknown paradigm. But Capricorn is actually supporting us now with like this earthy manifestation power of really stepping into the responsibility of, well, it's not something we are a victim of. It's not a reality that we don't know and that is going to come and that we are going to be scared of. It is something that we can co-create together if we set the intention, if we follow the visions that are coming through. So this is a time to step up, and Capricorn is definitely supporting us in that, and also giving us a lot of perseverance and endurance and patience with the whole process, because this is huge. We're building basically a completely new earth paradigm, and of course this is not a process that takes place from one day to the next. Yes, so Uranus is supporting us during this new moon with its trine to moon and sun conjunction in Capricorn. So it has a bit of a break out kind of energy, but it doesn't feel as unstable anymore, where we feel like we have no grounding and like we're up in the air, and it feels like very restless and not knowing what's going to happen, but more in a way of I feel actually quite centered, quite committed, quite clear, and just trustful into whatever is coming through, that this is like the time to take that step now. Another transit that is also quite important, I feel, to have a little sense of this new moon energy, is that this new moon is gonna come with a square to Chiron, the wounded healer that sits in the masculine principle of Aries at the moment. And Chiron as the wounded healer always represents, like, both in our personal chart, it represents where we are most vulnerable and where there are wounds that we want to heal in this lifetime, but also where through that healing path that we're on, we're gonna accumulate so much wisdom that actually we become a teacher, we become a healer ourselves to support others on their own journey, which is actually quite beautiful. And with Chiron sitting in Aries right now, in the masculine principle of like action, drive, force, penetrating in the most beautiful sense, penetrating life with your energy, with your life force, there is vulnerability in this area. Of course, there are so many man circles popping up ever since this transit started, and already before, because the masculine principle needs just as much healing as the feminine wound, because we have become insecure when it comes to following our impulses and really stepping into that raw, fiery nature of making something happen. Because the masculine principle, or like, the immature masculine, has overstepped boundaries of the earth or the feminine, and like, how can we handle this beautiful fiery power without misusing it, and really combining it with that centeredness and that consciousness and that presence that it actually also holds. So with Chiron squaring this new moon, what can come up is a little vulnerability around initiative, around stepping into that kind of courage that you need to take a step and to follow an impulse and to actually really become active. And just feel into that, feel what this vulnerability is bringing up, because this is a very, very potent process to dive into, where a lot of insights can come up. And know that this is a collective process also, where we get to connect more deeply with our wounds, and actually the vulnerability is already the medicine. When we show ourselves with that insecurity, with whatever is coming up for you around that, like, why are you holding back? Why are you not becoming active? Why are you not quitting the job? Why are you not stepping into this relationship or stepping out of this relationship? Why are you not following that impulse in your heart to jump on that plane and go somewhere else, in case that is something that is possible in your reality, of course, with everything that's going on. But I mean, that already also like is implemented in that whole transit, breaking out of the old and what is holding us back of that. And owning that we are feeling vulnerable about this and insecure and yeah, and deeply wounded in a way can already bring healing and can just support you in easing into taking little steps. Doesn't have to be a big step, but it is a process, and it's important to stay gentle with yourself and yeah, also feel supported by like-minded and like-hearted beings more than ever, coming together as tribe, coming together as community, and sharing those processes with each other, and receive support and guidance and mirrors where you realize that actually you're sitting in the same boat as many other beautiful beings out there, and it's gonna bring a lot of healing. And also yeah, as I'm experiencing here in this community incubator, where community is just the most powerful and most important, I wouldn't say tool, but it is a way of living and it is a way of creating. And to me, it has become the most truest and most powerful, because we in our essence are not solo fighters. We in our essence are here to come together and to increase the manifestation power that each and every one of us have, and just now I only find the German word for it. Multiplying. Yeah, everything, all the gifts that we are bringing, everything is multiplied in community, in unity, in coming together. So this is also important when we want to follow that Capricornian focused goal, to also find a community that is in alignment with that vision that you are having, with that North Star that you want to move, the direction that you want to move towards. And then magic is going to happen. Yes, so 2022 is already starting with, yeah, quite a boom, but not a kind of boom, more of a yes. Clarity kind of boom, a centered kind of boom, and something that brings in a lot of maturity and responsibility to take certain steps that are needed for yourself and also for the collective and for Mama Earth. Yeah, and maybe lastly, before I step back into, or go offline and step back into the offline, what is also beautiful is that Jupiter has entered Pisces a few days ago. And when Jupiter sits in Pisces, Jupiter is all about the principle of expansion and growth and abundance, and where we can stretch our comfort zone into the unknown, moving from the familiar to the unfamiliar, and like really becoming bigger in the sense of that our space, our comfort zone is being stretched, and we can step into adventure and new experiences and everything that makes us grow. And in Pisces, this archetype comes with a lot of universal trust, because Pisces is the connection to the ether, it's the connection to the cosmos, it's oneness, consciousness. So we are finding in our spirituality, in our meditation, in everything that connects us to spirit, to the cosmos, to the bigger picture, and also to everything that reminds us of source and where we come from. That brings in a lot, that can bring a lot of trust when it comes to our growth, our adventures, and everything that might feel a little edgy. Okay, I really want to do this, but I'm also shitty scared about it. To come back to this, but you know what? Life is guiding me. You know what? I'm always held. You know what? I'm just trusting my intuition. I'm trusting what is coming through. I'm trusting the vision. I'm trusting that we are one and that I'm safe in this life, in this body, in this experience. Yeah. So, as a little nugget to close this beautiful session. Yes. So thank you for everyone who's tuning in. I wish you a beautiful transition into this new epic year. And new moon blessings. May Luna shine you the way. May the sun shine you the way. Father, Sun, and Mother Moon. And blessed be, brothers and sisters, priestess.